Hello everyone and welcome to the Pinup Princess. I am the Pinup Princess Haley Hart and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video fully up on the channel and getting to like be back and be with you guys and share with you my sewing projects, my love for vintage, and all things Disney as well. So today's project is extremely special. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be making Anna's dress from The King and I, specifically the Shall We Dance dress, which is that super big ball gown that she wears during the song Shall We Dance. That is one of my favorite old movies and musicals, and it's so special to me. So I figure what better than to make it ourselves. So in a second, I will give you guys sort of like an overview of everything that I bought, including fabrics, patterns, so that if you guys want to recreate this at home, you guys have the resources to do so, because I want to make sure you guys I'm kind of being like the test subject and like trying out different things so that you guys can recreate it at home if you want, or just enjoy it because I love watching sewing tutorials as well. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright everyone, so here is a quick photo of what the gown looks like. As you can see, it's super beautiful and I'm super excited to show you guys how I'm going to recreate it. So the dress is made out of just kind of a peachy pinky satin. It's really hard to tell with the color because in the movie it looks a lot more pink, but in the photos it looks a lot more peach. However, the dress, as you can see, has a super big cage crinoline or a hoop skirt, whatever you want to call it, with a very full satin skirt. It also has a very close-fitting bodice with a really big bow in the front, which will be super fun to do. And the sleeves are really big and puffy and have a layer of netting over them with a little bit of rhinestones or sequins or some sort of glittery element to add a little bit of sparkle. And then there's also a little bit of tulle right above the bow with some sparkles on it as well to tie in the sleeves. So let's get started. Okay everyone, so I'm gonna... There we go. Sorry, what do you guys think about this backdrop? This is where I film, like, my photo shoots and, like, all my stuff for Instagram. So, this blue one is up from, like, an old Hollywood shoot that I did because I needed a solid background. But I have my castle one right here for when I do princess calls and, like, Zoom calls and stuff. Sorry if I keep looking to the side because my monitor's right there. I'm new to this, you guys. I got a new camera, and it's my first time using it, so let me know if it looks good. But I'm gonna give you guys a little overview of what I bought for the dress. Clearly, I must have put in a picture at some point before this, so you guys know what it looks like. So the first thing we'll be going over is patterns, because obviously I'm going to be using the patterns to construct the dress. So the first one I found was from Period Impressions. They're like, I got it from Patterns of Time on Etsy, which is the kind of overbranching company. And here is the pattern that I'm using. This is 409. This is the ball gown bodice. And the sleeves look a little bit different, so I might draft a sleeve pattern for this one, but the shape of the bodice and everything is really good. They only had it in a size 12, 14, 16. I'm usually like an 8. But since it's so close fitting, I want to make sure I can really hug it in because I'm wearing a Civil War, like an 1860s Civil War corset underneath this because you really got to get that tiny waist. And it also helps add structure to that huge skirt that we're going to be wearing. So I want to make sure I can really fit this to my body really good and like make sure that I can really like form out my silhouette nicely. So going a little bit bigger, then I have more room to adjust and make it to fit me. So this is the bodice pattern. And then for the skirt, I bought this pattern from like eBay. This is a simplicity pattern. I literally just bought it for the skirt because look at how big that skirt is. And it kind of has a train, so we're going to use the skirt pattern from this as the skirt for the whole dress. And it's going to be a two-piece. It's going to be a top and then a skirt. Now for fabrics. Sorry, it's like all on the ground. So for the bodice, you want to make sure it has a really like structured lining because we're going to be like pulling this thing tight. So I don't recommend using super thin like fabrics that'll like tear easy. So the first thing I bought from Fabric Wholesale Direct is just duck cloth, which is like a canvas. And this is gonna be what the lining of our bodice is gonna be made of. I'm not doing like a fabric lining over this. This is gonna be the lining because I'm gonna be wearing a corset under this, so it's not really gonna touch my skin. Plus it adds extra bulk to the bodice. So this is gonna act as our super stabilizer, and we're gonna put the boning in this. And then for the actual dress, I ordered around 11 yards of this kind of mauve satin. It's just this like really lightweight kind of peachy nude satin fabric, and I ordered, like I said, 11 yards because this skirt is really, really big, and we want to make sure we have a lot of room and extra leeway. Plus this was only like $2 or $3 a yard, so really inexpensive, and it has that shiny, almost taffeta-like crinkle to it and like body. So when this is gathered in over a hoop skirt, it'll have some really nice volume and will look really, really good. And then for little extras, the first thing I bought is I haven't decided whether I'm gonna do like grommets and make it like a corset style lace-up back, because some of the artists' original concept ideas, the back shows eyelets with lace-up, and that's what the pattern calls for. However, I did purchase some corset hooks, which are these really, really heavy-duty, sturdy like hooks and eyes. And I bought 2 packs since there's only 6 in there, so I could do them all the way up the back. I also purchased covered boning because you can buy this at Joann's, but they charge you like $2 or $3 a yard. And for this, I'm gonna be boning the crap out of this bodice, so I needed to make sure that it was gonna be like nice and tight. So I bought this on Amazon for 15 bucks, and I believe it's like, this is 12 yards. And it's that cotton covered boning, so this is a lot sturdier. I prefer this to the metal, like steel boning. The spiral steel boning is a little bit harder to sew through, and it's just not my favorite. And then finally, I bought a snood because you can see in the picture, Anna has like her hair in like a little snood in the back, except her snood has these like little like teardrop like sequin things on it. So what I did is I bought sequins that looked like the ones on hers, and I'm gonna go in and sew it to the snood so that it looks just like hers. Editing Haley. So the little like sequin bead things that I was gonna sew onto the snood did not end up coming in time. This video was filmed like probably a week ago, and the dress is done now. But it did not get here in time for the photo shoot or for the photos. So maybe one day I'll re-sew them on just so that I have it. However, they're coming from England, I believe, and I did not know that because the shipping was free, so it didn't tell me where it was coming from. So it probably is going to take like another 2 or 3 weeks to get here anyways. So just keep in mind, if you don't see anything else about the snood, it's because the little sequins didn't get here. Anyways, back to the video. And so I bought this little snood. This one's silver. I thought it was closer to the one in the photo. It came with a 2-pack. It also came with one in black. But I'm a pinup girl, so anything like 40s or 50s hair stuff, I love. So even though it came with a black one, I'll probably be using this in like my everyday life. So that is great. Side note, my package for everything else that I'm using comes tomorrow. I apologize. I wanted to get this video like rolling today and like start on with what I have. However, what's coming tomorrow is the sequins for this. And also the sequins for the sleeves, because the sleeves have like a layer of netting over the top of them with little sequins sewn to it. So from Joann's, I ordered sort of a matching tulle that would match the dress fabric that I can do a layer over the sleeves and sew the little sequins onto. And then I also ordered some like stiff like petticoat netting because the sleeves are really big and poofy, so inside I'm going to do a layer of the netting to help give it more structure. And then I also ordered some lace trims and some extra little things for the next video, which I'm so excited for you guys to see. I'm like really, really pumped. You guys are gonna like it. So yeah, that comes tomorrow, I believe, but the tulle did not ship with the rest of the order, so I don't know when the tulle is gonna get here, and I might just have to order some tulle on Amazon and just get that cheap like party like decoration tulle, because at this point it's one layer of it. You're not really gonna see it. I just would rather sew it to the netting and not the actual fabric like they do in the movie. So, yeah, that's everything for now. Let's get started assembling the dress and like cutting everything out. I think I'm gonna cut the stuff out of the canvas, the duck cloth first, because I'm gonna do like a fitting to my body and like adjust it with like a Sharpie on the canvas since it's so light, so I can see really where I need to do it, and then also put in the boning and wear my corset and like really fit it to my body. And I'm gonna do that first because I've never worked with this pattern before. Normally, if you guys know me, I just like go out and like just do it. And I don't like make mock-ups or anything, but this is such a big project, I feel like I need to. This clip is already gonna be like 8 minutes of like wrap-up stuff, or not wrap-up, of like intro and me showing you guys what I got, so I apologize. These videos are gonna be pretty long. However, I hope that you guys will like be okay with that because these videos are gonna be really, really like in-depth. And so these videos are probably gonna be like half an hour, I think. Editing Haley, you can chime in when you want with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think I'm gonna make a mock-up of the bodice and order some tulle on Amazon so it'll get here tomorrow so that by the time I get to the sleeves, I will have everything here that I need to. And until then, let's get started on making a mock-up. Okay, guys, so I just cut out, this is the front, and this is like on a fold, and I marked my darts. There's 2 darts in the front, so I have to mark with pencil where these start, because I use my scissors to like clip a little like notch right there, you can kind of see it, so that I know that's where it starts, and then I match it up with the other little one right there. But what I'm going to do is take my pencil, and wherever that pin was that I stuck it through, I'm just going to make a little mark. Just like that, so then I know that's where my dart goes. And I'm gonna do the same thing right here, where this one goes. Sorry, I'm like really bad at this. Okay. And just like that, that is exactly where our darts are placed. So I've also cut out all the other pieces that are under here. You can see them, the back, the side back, and then the back. And you can see this has the placements for all the grommets in the back, but I might replace these with hooks and eyes. But we can see about that once we get to it. But yeah, so progress is being made. I'll update you guys when I have it on my body, and I am fitting it to myself. Okay, so I have fit the bodice to myself over my corset, which is right here. This is the corset I'm using. It is like, has a lot of waist reduction, so as you can see, I've had to fold this over twice to get it to fit. And what I've done is on the fold, I've like sketched out with a pencil where the center back should be. So that way I can take this out and then add just like a little bit extra of an overlap for the grommets. So I've decided I'm gonna do grommets so that I can lace it up because this is really close fitting. And in order to get me like sucked into it, I really have to use the grommets. So I've marked out where it is, so that way when I take the pins out like that, and I unfold it, I can see where the center back is, and then cut off this extra piece right here and just leave that little amount so that it folds over once, and then I can add the grommets in, and then I need to add all the boning into this. But I think once I've cut the mock-up for the bodice and just like finished the back, I'm gonna start on the skirt. And what happened is I realized that this piece in the front, you can kind of see it right here, is there's a back piece that's all not gathered, and then the side is the gathered piece, so I need to make a little rectangle in the back that's the same length, that's extra wide so we can add more fullness. And then same for the front, you can't really tell, but the front is a solid piece, and then the skirt starts on the side. So I need to add a front and a back panel, but that's super easy. Those are just rectangles, I just have to measure it out. So I think I'm gonna start on that just so that I can really have something done today, because it is Tuesday and I want this video up by at the very latest Sunday. So I need to give myself as much time as possible, but I'm gonna finish fitting the bodice, and then I think I'm just gonna start on the skirt, and that'll be today's step. Okay, so here is the skirt, like all pleated on the mannequin right now. I have the hoop and everything on. As you can see, I just literally went in and just eyeball, like, pleated along the waist, because you're not really gonna see it because it's gonna get covered up, but it surprisingly went pretty well. And as you can see, the side goes into a bit of a train in the back, like you can see that slope. So I have to add a waistband on top of that. And sadly, I tried to put this mannequin at like my height. I'm tall-ish, you guys. I'm like 5'7.5", 5'8". So as you can see, there's like a little bit of gapping along the floor. So what I might do, honestly, is just add some like nude like lace trim to look like a petticoat or something. That's not like in the movie, but I'd rather it be floor length than like have like a weird gap. However, you can see it looks really, really good. The skirt looks really nice. I'll steam it once it's like all finished, but I just need to cut out like a little rectangle waistband, and then pleat it to my waist measurement, but my waist measurement with the corset on, so I need to put the corset back on and measure my waist. So yeah, you guys, it's looking so good. I'm probably gonna maybe go to the store and grab some lace, for the bottom of this, and then I'll probably be like taking a break for today because that's like half the dress done once we finish the skirt. But I know the bodice will take a couple days because it'll take a lot of work and time. But it's looking really, really good, you guys. I'm super duper happy with it. I'm very, very happy. In fact, I was not expecting it to be that level of like easiness. I thought it was gonna be way harder than it was. However, it wasn't. So I'm very, very pleased. Hopefully it won't be too hard on the bodice, and hopefully I can find tulle that'll get here in time, hopefully by tomorrow. I need to order that right now because it's already in the afternoon. However, I think I'm gonna go to the store, grab some lace, and cut out a little waistband and put this skirt onto it and add some hooks and eyes in the back, and then work on the lace on the hem. I am realizing the dress might be too short. It's okay though, it's okay. Okay, I'm in the Starbucks drive-thru right now. I literally just placed my order. I'm literally getting ready to scan my thing. I'm going to Michael's. I need some fabric dye. I'll tell you the saga that was my Joann's order that actually arrived today. However, they sent me the wrong items, and there's no room for error in this because I have to finish this dress by Friday to take photos. So I'm going to Michael's right now to get fabric dye so I can dye the wrong colored tulle that they sent me to be the right color. So we're gonna go to Michael's, but first I needed to pick me up. So we went to Starbucks, and I'll talk to you guys when I'm in the Michael's and I'll tell you what happened with my order. Okay, you guys, I'm at Michael's. I'm in the parking lot. I have my Starbucks. I also wanted to point this out. I don't normally dress this boring. Like, my style is very 50s, like, pinup rockabilly. So, there is a car pulling right up next to me. That is so great. But who cares? I'm a YouTuber, so I hated that. Cancel that. Anyways, I dress normally way more fun than this. So I had to go to the DMV today because my wallet got stolen. I probably already said this in the first clip. Anyways, I had to go replace my driver's license, and it was a whole ordeal. Except I tried to dress more normal because the DMV people already hate me, so I was like, I'm gonna dress like boring and regular today. However, I didn't do my hair, I didn't really do my makeup this morning, so I'm like kind of looking a little crazy. However, I dress way more fun than this, so in other clips it'd be like, wow, she looks wildly different, and that's because that's how I normally dress. This is like me being really boring. It's also freezing where I am, even though it's like literally summer. I don't know. So I'm at the Michael's. I need to go get some fabric dye and some sequins. I cut a little piece of the fabric so that I can like see which dye works best, and also which sequins will look best. And I might grab some ribbon and some other little things. This is really embarrassing. I'm so sorry to this woman. Anyways, I'm gonna go to Michael's now. See you in there if I'm brave enough. Bye! Okay, everyone, I'm back from Michael's. I got everything, almost everything I needed. So basically, the whole thing with Joann's is they sent me the wrong items that I ordered. So basically, I ordered some sort of peachy, mauvey or mauvey tulle to match the satin of the dress, except they didn't send me that, just at all. And then I ordered petticoat netting so that the sleeves would have a stiffener. And instead of petticoat netting, they just sent me white tulle. So I can't like reorder anything, and my nearest Joann's is 30 minutes away, and it's like a pretty good drive, and I don't really want to do that. So instead, what I'm going to do is dye the white tulle. So I bought this coral dye, and I figure if I just use a little bit of it, I can get the right color. I also picked up some thread, which like, hello, look at how good it like almost perfectly matches the fabric. And then I got for the sleeves, for the bedazzled sleeves, I got some rhinestones to add some shimmer to the sleeves. And these are Austrian crystals. And then I always just pick up little like sequins like these that are like, sort of like AB crystals. And I always use these for projects. And then I got some ribbon to finish off the inside of the dress. And then I got, this is maybe a hint to our next video. So I picked some rope up. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then what else came in the Joann's package was some ivory lace trim. And then I ordered some white lace trim. And these may also be a hint into next week's video. I don't know. So, I'm going to measure my waist in the corset to make a little waistband for the skirt. I need to pleat the skirt down, sew that, and add some hooks down the back, and then we can dye this tulle so that it'll be ready either tonight, because I stay up late, so I sew until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So it can be ready for me to sew later today. It's like 4 o'clock, or actually it's like 4:30 my time right now. So I'm gonna do that, and then I need to get myself ready for bed. I'm gonna like get in the shower, get cozy, probably set my hair, because I need to set my hair in pink curls so that it looks good for tomorrow. And then we'll probably resume sewing on the dress and then start working on the bodice and working on the outer layer out of the satin, because I also need to sew in, that's what I need to do right now, is sew in all the boning into the interlining. So I'm gonna do that. I'll keep you guys updated. Talk to you soon. Okay, so as you can see, I have the waistband folded over. And as you can see also, it is pleated. The skirt is all pleated in place, all along the outside. So what I'm going to do is take a needle and thread, and I'll kind of start it on here to show you guys how I do it nice and up close. So I'm going to take the edge of my needle and start working from the outside. And what I'm going to do is just take tiny little stitches, just kind of barely catching. Sometimes your thread gets caught up, but hey guys, this is really how it goes. So what I'm going to do is just slowly go along the waistband and just take little stitches of the skirt material, but big chunks of the actual waistband, and start stitching this down so that the waistband holds, and then we can put a skirt hook and eye right there. And I'm going to do this all along the waistband, and I've made this mistake before with many of my like big like historical gowns. Make sure you measure your waist when you're in your corset and your full undergarments, because mine was like a 2-inch difference from my natural waistline, and you want to also allow for a little bit extra because you're going to overlap these. So what I always like to do is then put my corset on and then put this on, and if it happens to be a little bit too big, you can just fold it over extra and sew down another bar for your hook to latch onto. That's just another little tip. But I did apply, you can kind of see it in here, I did apply some interfacing to the inside to structure the waistband a little bit. Just make sure it had a more sturdy feel, because this fabric is very light, and so you want to make sure that you have a nice thick base to anchor your skirt onto, because this is some heavy duty skirt we're working with. So I'll see you guys when I'm done sewing the waistband. Okay everyone, so what I have done is put the trim that I ordered for the hem of the skirt, because it is just a little bit too short for me. So I added in some of this Rit dye, because the dress is kind of a peachy, like dusty rose color, so I did coral because that was kind of the easiest, just to get like sort of a peachy corally pinky color. And it looks really, really bright when it's in the dye bath, but when I kind of pull it out, you can see once that washes out, it's gonna be like a sheer pink. So I'm actually really happy with the way it's turning out. What I'm gonna do is rinse this out in like 2 or 3 minutes and then throw it in the dryer with a big like beach towel so it'll soak up the extra water, and it should be dry in like 5 minutes since it's organza. And then we can let it dry and hopefully all the wrinkles will come out, because for some reason, I will never understand this, they vacuum sealed like this in a bag, so it got all crinkled, and organza crinkles really, really easy, and you can't really iron it. So putting it in the water released the wrinkles, kind of like steaming it did. So hopefully when I put it in the dryer, it'll tumble all the wrinkles out. Anyways, I will see you guys when I finish working on the dress.
Neckers and jelly beans, lend me your ear. Though you think you've been petted, don't be silly, forget it. Deb, Flapper, and Baby Vamp bore me to tears. What do they know concerning love? Come to me for your burning love. 'Cause I'm the last of the red-hot mamas. They've all cooled down but me. Flapper Vamp, say what do they know? Come get your hot stuff from this volcano. I'm an overheater, try and beat it.
Okay, so as always, I got a little wrapped up in the process, and I did a little bit more than I documented. You guys saw me sewing the binding in along the sleeves. However, I just pleated a little rectangle of fabric to make the bertha, which is what goes around the neckline. And here's the bow that I made in the front. It's a double bow. And here's the bodice. And I'll show you guys the grommets in the back and everything. Here are all the grommets that I did. Some of them were being real finicky, and you can see like some of them just like don't have backs. So I'm like praying that they don't fall out. And I had to pleat it just to the edge of the grommets, otherwise you wouldn't be able to lace it up. I added the skirt hook and eyes, you can see all the pleats, and then I also added in that trim that I was dyeing earlier. And what I did is I literally just sewed it along the hem, but first I serged the edge of the fabric of the skirt just so that it didn't fray. And then yeah, I just sewed it to the bottom, and I need to steam out the skirt a little bit, but I think I just need to hand sew all these details in because, oh my gosh, I'm insane like that. And then yeah, once I sew that on, we just need to draft the sleeves. And I left a good amount of room underneath here. You can kind of see to add a sleeve. So I might sew in the sleeves first and then sew down the bertha, just because I want to make sure that we get as much room as possible. And I might even above the sleeve have to do like another pleat like that, just because we need more room. Anyway, so I'm gonna work on drafting the sleeves, and I have to do the layer of tulle over them with the Austrian crystals. And then, yeah, the dress is kind of in the home stretch, you guys. I'm gonna shoot this on Saturday, so I officially have 2 days to finish everything, which I highly believe I can do. So let's hope that everything goes well. Okay, so I've sewn on the sleeves and everything. I did make one mistake. This side, you can see the satin is shiny. I accidentally flipped around the satin on this side, but you can't really tell. But I added the little bit of tulle along the neckline with the rhinestones. And these are the little rhinestones that I used. I got these at Michael's. And these are Austrian crystals. They're really pretty. They're kind of a shimmer, rainbowish, but they're have more pinky hues, so they match a little bit better. And now what I have to do once these dry, I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight because I hand sewed the bertha down and the bow and everything, is I have to sprinkle these throughout the tulle on the sleeves. So I'm probably going to do that tomorrow, and that'll be tomorrow's project. And then just steaming the dress and like generally fussing with it for tomorrow. And then, yeah, so I'll see you guys when I'm bright and ready tomorrow, and we can kind of talk about the photo shoot process and where I want to maybe take some photos. But other than that, it's looking really, really good, you guys. I added in the grommets. Some of them are like, oof, they're coming off a little bit, so we're gonna be lucky if we can get through the photo shoot, which is fine. Even if I just have to, some of them are just slits in the fabric that we lace it through. There's canvas in there, so it shouldn't tear. And I put 2 pieces of boning right here, so it's really, really sturdy. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight, and I will see you guys in the morning with an update. Hello everyone, the dress is finished. Excuse my backdrop. I have another backdrop in my filming area set up for our next video. However, Anna's dress is done. I could not be more proud of this gown. It's humongous, might I add, but it's so beautiful and it was so worth it, and this is such a special piece that I will never get rid of and will be one of my biggest, like, bragging pieces, because I literally worked so hard on this and didn't really use many patterns. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video as always. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more. I have a bunch of new content every week, whether it's little vlogs of funny little things that I do, or day in the life videos, or bigger projects like this. I definitely have a much bigger project coming next week. Or not next week, it could be coming this week as well, whenever I finish editing the video. However, I wanted to thank you guys again for watching. As always, I love you so, so, so much. And don't forget to, yeah, follow for more. I hope you're feeling safe and loved and know that you are worth it. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.